Good afternoon, colleagues. We'd like to thank you for attending Vertical so that we can distribute the information you're going to need for the upcoming weeks when we're working on our racial justice action pieces. So the schedule, as you know, has already been slightly shifted due to the snow day that occurred. So now on Monday, January 22nd, we're having exams. So at this point, we're sticking with the 3 days, January 29th, February 5th, and February 12th. If something happens and it gets impacted, or if something changes and we're adding an additional day, we will let you know. But as for now, the schedule remains the same as it was when you last saw this PowerPoint. This slideshow is a shortened version of the original, and it is in your inbox if you have not already checked. So the expectations for the classroom teachers, and this comes from CREC. So the expectation is that we're facilitating the RJA lessons in advisory, and we're asking that preferably you're submitting one from each outcome from your advisory class. The submission link is right here, and it's going to give us an overview of what you're submitting. We're also asking that you're facilitating one content-based lesson in your classes within the same time period or within the next few weeks. There's a separate submission Dropbox for that piece, and it is separate and different than the advisory Dropbox. The actual pieces you're going to submit by Thursday, February 29th. High school submissions can go to Bonnie Livingston. Middle school submissions can go to Chanel Hughes. And please have done the submission drop boxes prior to giving us your actual pieces of work. So suggestions and supplies. We didn't get that many responses about what you needed, so I took it upon myself to order some general supplies. These supplies are going to be distributed to each of the 8 pods prior to Monday, January 29th. As of right now, you will be receiving some heavy white paper that's a little larger than copy paper size, colored paper that's 12 by 18, which would be twice the size of a normal piece of copy paper. You're also going to receive skin tone / multicultural markers. That's a range of different skin tones, and classic colored markers. There's not enough for every single classroom to have 1 pack of each, but there should be enough that you can share amongst the pod. If you need something else, please email Bonnie Livingston and Chanel Hughes. We both have some additional supplies available as needed, but please email us both so we can figure out what to give you to be successful with your students' productions. I want to make you aware of digital opportunities. Some people did ask what are some programs we could use to have our children create things online. Many students can access Adobe Photoshop where they could create posters and other digital media, but if they don't have that, they could use Google Slides to create presentations, or something that students love to use is Canva, and they can create posters, slides, brochures, garments, such as backpacks, t-shirts, sweatshirts, that sort of thing, bumper stickers. And students love Canva. So even if you are not familiar with Canva, if you ask your students to do something in Canva, they most likely have done something in it before and are very aware of how to use the program. So don't shy away from it if you are not familiar with it. One thing I will say is Canva has extensive templates that could allow a student to literally spend 5 minutes putting in a couple of words and create a product. And because we have the students for at least 3 hours of time, my suggestion is that you ask the students, if they're creating posters, to create a series of posters. If they wanted to do people within the civil rights movements, ask them to do a certain number, 5 to 10, I would say, over a 3-hour period. And same thing, if they're asking if they can create slides, give them a certain number of slides, and know that because Canva does a lot of the work, the students really don't have to do that much of the work. So you want to give them a little bit of a parameter on expectations.
All right, So what are the goals? Again, this slide will look familiar to you because it's the same one we've seen before, and it does list the outcomes that we want you to focus on. As we said, it would be ideal if you had something that represented each outcome, and do your best. We also have links here that allow you to try out and check out different activities and material that is already created and planned out for you. During Racial Justice Action Week, or weeks as we're doing here in our school, here are some content-specific lessons. Some of this came directly through CREC. Some of it we've come up with ourselves that are enhancing what was already provided for us. For instance, the last couple of rows have lesson plans for PE and health, and for world languages, it was a little bit missing in the original one. And also other ideas that are listed on the far right, including that Black Barbie article that we wanted you to pay attention to. Because if worse comes to worse and you're really drawing a blank on what to do for your own lesson plans, we've already got Stacy and Emily to thank for having spent a little bit of time coming up with some terrific questions that can be specific to what you are teaching and that you can adapt to the work that you're doing in your class. So that is all for now. We thank you very much for your attention to this. We hope that you have a very productive afternoon. And from all of us in the equity team, we want to say that if you have any other questions or if you have anything that you need from us, please let us know. You can reach us directly. And have a great afternoon.